War Games. That's it. And I remembered, and I think it's on the War Games Blu-ray. This is not the first time they had regeneration. That bit between Troughton and Pertwee had a regeneration. And honestly, I like this adding the regeneration in. I think it's done very, very well. I think it's very, very clever. I also like leaving the holes and leaving the mystery so fans can, fill in with the headcanon. So this fan movie took about 30 years. Apparently, they've been releasing episodes for the last few years of it, right? And it's doing quite well. This is the last appearance of 33 years they've been making this. Last appearance of John Pertwee as a Doctor, right? Last time he played the Doctor. Here, I think this is a trailer for it. Yeah, doink. It's just an unofficial trailer. And actually, it's a shame that it's because it was done so long ago, right? It's just now it's really aged before it even came out. Like this would have been fine in the 90s. And they've used this console a lot. I think they used it for the Curse of the Fatal Death. Yeah, so they have this interim Doctor. A bunch of people who are, I'm sure they're doing a fine job. They would never really make it in acting otherwise. This guy looks quite good as a role. So yeah, this is again, if this was 1997, it'll be fine. Well, they had John Pertwee film the at the end he regenerates into John Pertwee. There you go. The last time he played the Doctor. Yeah, they put so much work into this. I really got to start watching these episodes. But they're not going to be very good. That's a problem, unfortunately. You can see like the early CGI special effect. He does look like he strikes me more of the Doctor as shooting Gatwa and Jodie Whittaker. He doesn't. By the way, I am a big proponent of the original console room being white instead of green. It was only green to make it look white and black and white. That darling looked like it needed a bit of Viagra. Look at it. Bit droopy there, are you, darling? Bit of Brewer's droopy. This train's dragging on now a bit. Yeah, this looks like you know who this Doctor looks like? In the Skyray commercials, for the lollies from the 60s, they had the Daleks come in and exterminate or shoot at the second Doctor who's wearing that big hat and you couldn't see his face. That's who it looks like. Yeah, we've seen this already. Oh, this must be the other trailer. Is this trailer just playing on a loop now? Yeah, people standing around chatting into communicators doesn't really work. This was made before the age of smartphones. Think about that. I wonder if this is better than current Doctor Who. I really don't know. There you go. So, yeah, it's not the first time we try to fill that in. It's still going? Blimey. All right, darling. Know when to give it a rest, okay? Know when to give it a rest. Honestly, if the Daleks show up, it would be pure Christmas miracle. Yeah, I don't think Daleks show up. I mean, you might see him sort of range. You might see him in the background. Well, honestly, one of my favorite bits of Doctor Who is what's it called? The pilot, the Capaldi season 3 opener, with it's such a great. You know what? I'm going to throw up that scene because I love it. With where they're trying to escape the water demon thingy. Hang on. And they like, we have to take you through fire for incredible heat. Oh man, he's so great, Capaldi. And by the way, if you want to do a rewatch of Capaldi, the return of Captain Mysterio, Dr. Mysterio, whatever he's called. If you just watch the beginning bit when he's hanging out with this kid, I'll show that bit as well because that is perfect. Second. Capaldi's interaction with children is always great. But it's on the roof where he really talks it. Here we go.
I'll work to do. Take this.
Who are you?
The doctor.
Yeah, but who are you?
The doctor.
Which one, though? There's lots of doctors.
The one. The main one. The original. I started it. They're all based on me. Now, everyone who wants to sound clever calls themselves Doctor. Bandwagon.
In a comic book, you know what you'd be called? Dr. Mysterio.
I like that. Dr. Mysterio. I'll have that.
Honestly, Capaldi interacting with children made In the Forest of the Night good, right? And that's a piece of shit episode, right? But his interaction with children in that is just wonderful. Anyway, what's the scene where we see the Daleks in it? Doink. This was a good episode. I'm sorry, I like this episode a lot. So they're running from the water demon, water monster thing. Yeah, this is it. Could have done without Matt Lucas in this, but
oh, we're fine. If there's any trouble, I'll get a message on this. Let's see how long it takes it to get here.
Where are we?
Other end of the universe. 23 million years in the future. Oh, yes, it's a time machine, too.
Man, I forgot how good he was. That's not the bit. Hang on. Turns up there. Yeah, I think this is it.
It's good now. No, not there. I don't like it there. I don't like that.
I want you running interference. Can you do that?
Can I say no, sir?
No.
Yes, then.
Thank you.
But no, really.
Where are we?
Well, we're basically in the middle of a war. No, but it's a war zone. And this is just your basic skirmish. And it's not as bad as it sounds. I promise you. Come on. I've got friends here. Old friends. I say friends.
The doctor is detected.
Ah, that's awesome.
Seek location. That's right.
This is the clip they introduced her with, isn't it?
Are we still in the future?
No. This is the past.
Doesn't look like the past.
God, this looks so much better than the current Doctor, and you can see it's so much cheaper. It does. Once you have great acting, great characters, great storytelling, you don't need it.
Are we safe here?
Well, that's up to Naldo, so probably not.
Keep moving, Doctor!
Where are we going?
Into the fire. Come on.
I'm going to get copyright struck if I won't watch this too much. Oh, I don't want to see the Mavellans. 1 second.
Who are those guys?
Never mind that. It's who they're firing at.
We'll see a Dalek shot, then we'll get back to it.
Come on.
What's that?
The deadliest fire in the universe.
Identify! Intruder, identify!
Scan this device and identify me.
You are the Doctor. Fine. I don't even know how I got that tangent. Well, I'm quite happy we did, right? Quite happy with it. Have you seen the new Doctor Who trailer?
I haven't. But, well, there's two, isn't there? There's the Disney one and the BBC one. And I haven't.
I've only seen I was just reviewing it. Do you want to have a quick sneak peek?
Let's have a look. Go on. Let's show. Yeah,
Right,
I've got. Yeah.
We'll go back to the beginning.
Oh.
And okay, my take on it. This is a good trailer with one kid, just like Doctor Who magazine this month is a good issue. The underlying problem is it's Shudigatwa, right? Which I think this trailer really shows. But for a normie, I think a normie looking at this, they'll go, "Oh, this looks kind of fun," right? Yeah, sorry.
Well, and have you noticed how bright the colour palette is as well on everything here?
Yeah.
You know, whereas there's no looking back to the Moffat specials, for example, they were always very sort of candlelit.
Right. Well, this is very much here. But bright is actually a good idea. All right. Again, the only problem is Shooty Gut was just not able to do the role. But here, you'll see in this. So again, I think for Normans, I think that this is going to look quite good.
Is this Christmas?
Yes, we're doing a special Christmas everywhere all at once.
So and immediately you got like what's his name? This guy who people kind of know. He's been in a bunch of stuff, right?
Several sitcoms,
right?
Any crime series you could care to make. He's turned up as everything from a caretaker to a corpse. This guy.
Oh really? Yeah. So, but he's a very recognizable face. I think he's a very beloved face. Well,
he's the kind of actor who can disappear into a background very easily, but has also
very
got
recognizable at the same time.
Yeah, because he's got quite silly hair. He stands out too. So he's the ideal sort of actor to put in a show like Doctor Who, in that he's slightly larger than life.
Right. I think he'll probably overshadow Shooting Gatwa, which he looks like he's doing there right now.
Not very different. Not very hard to do.
You have the TARDIS, the nice bright blue of the TARDIS. You had very Christmassy, the Christmas tree, right? You had Nicola Coughlan, and you had this guy. Everything is very crowd pleasing. And I was saying earlier, the scheduling of this is one of the smartest things the BBC has done in years, right? After Strictly, before Wallace and Gromit, I think they're going to get an extra $1 million from the people
Well, you asked me when I came on last week, where did I think they were going to put it, and I said R5, didn't I?
Yeah, it's spot on, right? And but the people watching after Strictly, they're going to get a huge bump, and the people coming in 5 minutes before Wallace and Gromit, they're going to get a huge bump, right? They really. Oh yeah, it's a very canny piece of scheduling this year.
It's because it's their last chance. I've always said this. That it doesn't really matter whether next year's 8 episodes are good, bad, indifferent. Doesn't matter. To grab the British public, to make this Doctor hit, guarantee the series any kind of short-term longevity. But when I say short-term, I mean 3 to 4 years.
Right.
This is their last chance.
It really is. And again, they've done everything right, apart from having Shooting Gatwa in the middle, right? But here, you'll see this more as it goes on.
Oh, God.
Ham and cheese toasty and a pumpkin latte?
Who are you?
Wrong room.
So that ham and cheese latte and pumpkin, ham and cheese sandwich and pumpkin latte just kind of irritates me. Like his delivery of it irritates me. I don't find him charming.
It's because it's the same with the clothes. This Doctor is too cool. The thing about the 11th Doctor was that he believed he looked cool because bow ties were cool. He thought he was affecting coolness because he was wearing the bow tie. This Doctor believes that he is inherently cool, and that is not our Doctor.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. The I like this visualization of London. It all
Fabulous.
We are on a top secret mission.
What?
Who are you then?
Joy.
Tom name Joy?
Thank you.
And she's very popular, Nicola Coughlan, right? And the Orient Express is a great idea, right? Again, all this stuff gets people going, ooh.
How do I get to be you? You'll find out.
Who are you?
You'll find out.
God, two of them.
See, this is doing the things that the general public want Doctor Who to do.
Yes and no.
A dash of timey-wimey, enough to make it clear to them that they're not watching any other show on British TV, that the hour that they spend watching this is not a fix of something they can get elsewhere. You know, there's an argument that says, for example, you either watch on Christmas Day, Emmerdale, or EastEnders or Corrie, you don't watch all three, and then you catch up on... You see what I'm saying? Because they're all soap, it's all largely the same. But Doctor Who isn't like any other show on British TV. But lately, again, a problem that it's had is that it started to look and sound like every other show on television.
That was really the problem with
This doesn't.
season one. Whatever. Yeah, it was, especially by the end of the Jodie years when they had.
It was the Whittaker era. It was a problem the Whittaker era had in spades. I don't think that season one suffered with it quite so much. Anywhere near as much, come to think of it. But it didn't, because it was using its other instruments so ineffectually, it didn't really matter. So
yes. Honestly, I think that this interplay between Ncuti Gatwa and Ncuti Gatwa puts me off instantly. He's not very good at it.
Find out.
Who are you?
You'll find out. What do I do? Where do I go? We'll find out. Oh, do you see? You have to be mysterious all the time. That's why everyone leaves you. That is why you were always alone.
Yeah. Again, I don't think his delivery is strong. All right, and he's crying. Right, I just don't think his delivery is strong enough to pull off the Doctor. Did you ever see the audition reel for the people that auditioned for the Seventh Doctor with Sylvester McCoy?
yes.
Yeah, and if I think it's on the Time of the Rani DVD and probably on the season 24 box set.
Yeah.
I think you got more, and they're good actors they have on. It's Dylan. The guy, Dermot Crowley, the guy who's the boss in Luther, right?
Dermot Crowley, Chris Jury, and I can't remember who the third one was.
It was a guy with a big droopy moustache, is all I remember.
Oh, yeah.
And just not. And then you had Sylvester McCoy. Sylvester McCoy was just incredibly better than everybody else, right? It completely exploded from Sylvester McCoy. It could be, the worry with him is that he didn't have the metal, to play the Doctor.
Yeah.
Ncuti just doesn't have the voice. He needs voice training. It's literally the only black man I ever met without a good baritone, right? It's crazy. Like, I mean, honestly, could you imagine?
I personally like his voice. I think the problem I have with him, and I think that, and I know this is only a trailer, so I'm trying to be fair. Already I'm getting a hint of, just as I did with Boom, in that this material is too thick with, not necessarily intelligence, but it's too thick with sort of concept for him to understand and to sell us on the things that he's saying. He's not convincing me that he's talking to, he's not convincing me that there's anyone else stood there, much less a duplicate of him. And just in that scene, I'm saying, I'm trying not to. I can only judge on what I'm seeing now. And the problem he had with Boom was they put him in that predicament, stood on that mine, which is pure Moffat, just as this is pure Moffat,
right.
And he had to sell us on the fact that he couldn't move and that he was next to powerless, and it was Ncuti that let that episode down. Only him. Everything else. There's a couple of excesses of Stephen Moffat's, which did show themselves again. But in every other respect, that episode was very, very strong. He let it down, and it could well be the case that he's the weak link here too.
I feel
for the same reasons.
I was saying it's like the new Captain America film. They've reshot it 2 times now. They shot it 3 times, I believe.
Yeah.
Right. And everything looks like it's going to be quite good, but the fundamental premise of having Anthony Mackie be Captain America is just never, ever, ever going to
fundamentally flawed.
Right. And honestly, it's the same with the Jodie Whittaker stuff. Towards the end, they really worked out how to make something that look like a facsimile of Doctor Who. Right? If they just got Paul Cornell in to write the scripts, they would have been fine.
See, it's easy. It's easy in our disdain for what's presently happening with the show and our disappointment in this man and in this incarnation of the Doctor to sort of to throw away wild claims like it's worse than Jodie, it's worse than ever. It's not, but it's breaking down. It's malfunctioning at a more crucial time than it did in 2018. It hasn't got another life to waste. That's the problem. Not that it's worse than it's ever been. The series has been in worse shape than this, but unfortunately, it's never been. It's never been at this on a precipice in the way that it is now, as regards cultural appeal and the amount of money that's involved, that's pulling it apart at the seams. It could just come away, and then when it disappears, it will be gone for a very long time, and that is on the cards. I'd say in time.
Listen, the last hiatus was actually kind of a golden era for Doctor Who, and I think this hiatus,
we've only done half the trailer. Should we have a look at the other half? Then we'll tear it apart again.
Promises to keep.
We can do this.
What's the biggest mystery in the known universe?
Yeah, this stuff is so crowd pleasing. Let's just look at that again.
This could go very, very well.
Trailer. It's a very well cut trailer, isn't it?
Yeah,
superb. Adding in the S to the world, very clever.
What's the biggest mystery in the known universe?
Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.
I already have, but you telling me to do so doesn't make me want to do it. So look, obviously I'm going to watch it. I'm going to stream pretty much straight after it's done. It's a great time for me. It's on it, so it's going to be finished by 6 o'clock. Although I kind of wanted, I watched Wallace and Gromit, so it'll be finished by 6, which is 8 o'clock my time. Perfect. I'll do a review on Christmas Day. Maybe we'll do a preview show as well. I don't know. I would do if I was more excited. But honestly, the thing I'm looking forward to most is the War Games. Oh, I hope that's going to meet my expectations, because I like the idea of being cut down, and the colorization looks excellent. Just I really hope it works. Right, I really genuinely hope it works. So I don't know. Here's the thing. Does Doctor Who have any cultural relevance anymore? Is a real question.
Not at present, it doesn't.
Nah, it's
people don't care about what it's doing. They don't care why, and it's largely because they haven't latched onto him. It's Russell that's mismanaging him. Whether he's been miscast or not, you can miscast an actor. Sylvester McCoy was borderline. I've always said that he wasn't miscast. Right. They could have cast a lot better, but they could have cast a lot worse. They could have cast a lazy actor who was quite happy to turn up for as long as the series went on and not to turn his performance around. Here we don't know what we've got yet because we haven't seen. Well, there's been no time to breathe in between his first season and his second season. Again, this is unprecedented. This is unprecedented as well. The general public never warmed to Sylvester McCoy. Even though there was a big turnaround in what he was doing, they didn't stick around for long enough to
know what?
see.
I'm going to push back on that a little bit. By the time, not the general public, but I was like in my late teens when he was on. And by the time he got to Battlefield, people of that age were watching it and enjoying it because it had that mystery back in.
Yeah, but I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that, but there were so few of us.
Yeah. Although more people than watch today.
Yeah, that's what that. Well, yeah, it's the nearest sort of yardstick that we've got. The only difference at the moment is that the show has got the support on the surface, at least, and the money that it didn't have then. But those were only ever. I mean, the support is pretty important, but the money is not as the money is never as important, never as crucial as people made it out to have been then, because people would have watched it anyway. Because people want to watch that show, they'll watch it anyway.
Speaking of Sylvester McCoy, and why I think his hiatus will not be like the last one, because this is the second.
That's Lee Sullivan's.
Yeah,
Lee Sullivan's console room from Doctor Who
from the comic book. So what's in there? The Doctor Who and the Mid Journey. It's great Twitter account. They've been doing like photorealistic versions. These are just great.
Would you like to know a secret? Well, a secret just between us. I know there's nobody watching.
Okay.
Just between us. I have got the only interview that this X account has given.
Oh, wonderful.
Ever.
Well, have you aired it yet? You haven't aired it yet.
Coming to Type 40 very soon.
Oh, I am so up for watching. I wish you told me before, and I would ask you to, heap plaudits on him, right? Because he so deserves it. I'm genuinely, I think with these here, let me show you this. These crazy advances in AI, you can do. It's amazing the stuff you can do. I want to show you this video I saw.
It looks like it's a really cool kind of disco or something. It looks like something from a Mary J. Blige video in the late 90s.
Well, check out this bit of AI, right? It's indistinguishable from reality.
There's nothing more to say. It's very clear to me you're a cunt.
So, I think that sort of stuff is going to be I think we're going to make
that video would have been impossible 6 months ago.
Exactly.
Flow.
So, like, I really like this. This is if they had this on TV and you want to do the Masters TARDIS, they would just do this. I love that they just painted the TARDIS black whenever the Masters TARDIS was on. Right.
At the time, I hated it. I felt it was cheesy. But now, that's the strange thing. Now, I like the cheesiness of it. I like the silliness and the shorthand of it. What was his name? Sacha Dhawan's TARDIS in Spyfall was a really kind of quirky and cool design and kind of fascinating, but I would still have rather they'd have simply have got Whittaker's TARDIS and
the less I saw of
that black.
Frankly. The less I saw of that, the better.
Good point.
Doctor Who magazine. Have you seen this month's magazine?
I went to pick it up earlier on, as I always do. Can't find it anywhere.
Really? Wow.
Can't find it anywhere.
So look, I think Doctor Who magazine, this for the second issue running, has righted the ship, and it's actually a decent magazine. But the fundamental question is, if the show it's supporting is not Doctor Who, and I don't really think it is, because I don't think Doctor Who is a queer show. All right, if it's
having a disproportionate appeal to gay and or queer people does not mean that it is therefore a queer or gay show. That's that's a massive misreading and very woolly thinking.
Well, it was Rusty Davis when he was reviewing what's it called again on Instagram. The importance of being earnest, like saying wild gay energy, wild queer energy. Wild queer energy tells people to run away. Right? Nobody wants wild queer energy. And
I accept the fact that he enjoys it. I accept that Russell likes that, and it's his social life. If he wants to go and watch that sort of stuff, all power to him. You have a great night out, my friend. You go to as many drag acts as you want to see. Any furry parties you want to take in. I don't care what the man does in his private life. Vive la différence. But don't put all that stuff in this family show late before the British public when they should be eating their beans on toast. No.
Yeah, I agree. But in terms of Doctor Who magazine, it was really bad for a good 8 months or something. When Jason Quinn took over, when this era started, it was really dodgy, and you can see like the lack of care and attention. Now I think it's really like look at the headlines. These are all. I mean, was this made from Matt Smith and they just stole it, you think? Because it's a Duck Pond mystery solved, Prisoner Zero.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to knock up something like that. I think it's nice. It seems to be an exclusive picture with Shooty, unless this is part of, for all we know, this is in the special, for all we know.
This is in the special. You saw it in the trailer. He's in the...
okay.
But I think the paper is photoshopped. Right.
Maybe.
Anyway, so let's. Well, you can't even have a peruse, right? Again, I find Jason Quinn a genuinely fascinating person, right? I'm much more interested in him than the magazine now because he's just so bizarre. He's very cool.
I spent about half an hour talking to Jason, and he's very charming, very funny, really out there. Cares a lot about the magazine. Loves Doctor Who fans, and he's a really fun bloke. And he's been in publishing for a long time.
That's the feeling I get. Right? I get the feeling he started as like sub-editor on Parade magazine or something like that.
I mean, perhaps
that's been around, by the way.
Perhaps, to be honest, I don't know. Perhaps it's taken a little while for him to turn the magazine around. Perhaps the remit on the license is more confining than we know. He didn't go into those sort of details with me, but he did speak. He's very aware of the divided reception that some of his decisions have made,
right?
But he's trying lots of new things. I mean, my argument is that there's only so many new things you can try with a magazine, which is really. Yeah. Well, also, it's probably the most expensive magazine on the shelves in the average supermarket.
It's crazy expensive. It is very good. But I think he's developed a nice balance between classic Who, revival Who, and current Who. Like, it's got it really works now with that. But again, is it? Well, yeah. But
if you open this, for example, say if Shooty's face winds you the cup. Right. Say you feel that way about him. On that pull to open page, you see a picture of Sylvester and Sophie drizzled in tinsel from back in '89. If that doesn't make you laugh, there's Handles. I remember Handles. He was pretty funny. I like that. If that's not your bag, there's Troughton in colour. How the fuck have they done that? What's going on? Maybe you were a kid in the '70s. You sort of there is something there that should, in theory, work for a large proportion of the people who are going to open this.
And then you got Trevor Martin as well. With I bet a bunch of people reading it will have no idea what that is. Anyway, so I'll read this on Saturday, the column. Fine. So upcoming news. Yeah, they released the scripts for season 1. I don't really care. I wish I liked this era better. I wish because the Sonic Screwdriver is a nicely designed toy. But I have just no interest. After all this time, I've decided that I hate it. I've come to, it's taken me a year. For this piece of tat.
How
Bloody
much?
Hell.
40 quid.
40 quid. That's more expensive than a hand job. I have to tell you.
I booted up X earlier on to see some fucking rubber Johnny from another podcast waving at his feed, as if it's a major deal that he's got this. This is a grown man who should know better. And you think you've spent £40 on this.
Yeah.
£40 when you've probably already got the original one. Milking people for something like that, I think is unforgivable.
Well, listen, in the current economy, everything's more like, how much is butter now? Butter's like
precisely. Yeah, it has gone up.
I just saw Lurpak, or someone put it on X, was like £7-8 a tub. I saw a great video of somebody emptied. See, you saw how many tins of Quality Street you needed to fill up a 1985 tin of Quality Street.
Probably I'd say 4 or 5. Yeah, it'd be a good.
It was 8. It was crazy.
Wow.
Man, I like a bit of Quality Street though. Anyway, kind of fine. A bit of ephemera. None of these things are interest me. What is this one? Return of the Daleks. Is this one the BBC audios?
This is the BBC sort of audiobook range,
which is actually surprisingly good. Right, it's really kind of like pulled it. So you know what? Ever since they started hiring Will
Hadcroft,
that was really the moment it turned around. And I'm not even joking; it really was. Will, mate, if you're watching, you saved that range. This is a great cover, by the way. right? And
the covers to this range are so much better now. I mean, the cover to Will's last one is a shining example.
Shocking, right? It was really bad. So I wonder if this range is going to be successful. I really don't know. I thought he was. I thought he could have been good as a master. And I
was going to say he is so good. Right. I don't know, and I think he's a superb master. I'd have picked him as the Doctor any day. But he's so good as the master. I think it depends on what the premise behind this range is going to be. If it's just another riff on him doing what Derek Jacobi's doing, or what somebody, then it might not be. But if they find something idiosyncratic, something particular to what Sasha is able to channel with it, this could be very, very interesting, because he is such a missed opportunity.
He
is.
I mean, I actually think the future Doctor discs are going to be good. I'm just no interest in them, right? But I do think they're probably going to be.
I heard the trailer and I thought it was excruciating.
I haven't heard the trailer. I have to. She is awful. When I heard her in the trailer for Once and Future, that is true. Galaxy Forum, okay, whatever. Daft Dimension. Was that Philip Hinchcliffe? Yeah, you go. A bit of Philip Hinchcliffe. Fine. Have you seen it? Seen any of these things? God, this is like nails on a chalkboard. Vanity Fair delves into shooting.
Yeah, I did see
no
that.
interest. Peter Capaldi recently joined Criminal Records Kush Jumbo on our Oranges podcast. Okay. I saw this Colin Baker being showed the artwork for his title sequence. Janet Fielding,
nice.
Janet Fielding. A fun video clip together all the Doctor's polarity reversing antics from Pertwee to Whittaker. You have me at Pertwee.
Yeah, you say the word Whittaker, unless you're talking about David. It's never going to lead to.
Yeah, these TARDISes are so endemic of what they want, of what the fandom they want, right? This is exactly the fandom. People who go, oh, £30 for that.
It looks like a dog chew or something you would insert into your.
It basically is. Maestro, £25 for that t-shirt. Are you crazy? How much? And £17 for the box of light. I know which one I'm getting. No, I was talking about that earlier. I'm so loving that. You really turned me onto it, by the way. I didn't even.
My pleasure.
I'm enjoying it too. So, kind of a lengthy preview. I might do this again. It's great for me. Content that I can make. So, okay.
It's quite an exhaustive preview for. Obviously you can't preview something after it, but I can understand them having a generous preview for something like this, because the majority of the people reading this will have seen one version or another of it. But to preview a news story with a long article like that, I don't think you would need 2 pages for a story that hasn't been on yet.
I think Doctor Who fandom now is very factionized, right? I think there are people who just like shooting out, with the people who just like the Jodie shooting stuff. I think there are people who like modern Who. I think people who like classic Who, but I think there's lots of different disparate cliques and clans within fandom now. But I have to say, the thing that really turned me off and over the edit with the from the darks in color is I didn't believe the pictures that was shot in color. This looks like it was shot in color, right? This looks remarkable. Really.
It's a lovely job.
Right, and the leap in their ability from one year to the next is really incredible, right? It's this looks interesting. I like how they made the Time Lord tunics purple. No, I wouldn't have thought that. Oh man, a bit of pure sixes there. I love it. I really love it.
It's straight out of the final episode of The Prisoner, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, I was just going to say The Prisoner, right? So this is a great article. Grab your Santa hats and let whoever Lucia Armstrong Squires trance you to Christmas past, present, and future. So this is an article about Doctor Who's Christmas. And honestly, before 2005, there wasn't Doctor Who Christmas.
No.
Right? Which is amazing to me. And I wish Big Finish would put out a box set every year at Christmas of 3 Christmas stories with classic Doctors.
I wouldn't even do that. I'd have one big Christmas release that's the equivalent of a Christmas special that lasts about an hour, and I would put it out as one of their tentpole releases of the year. It would star a different Doctor each time, maybe. I don't know. It wouldn't fit in line with anything else. It would be the same approach as one of the TV episodes. Big blockbuster, CD and vinyl at the same time, and a download for the people who want it. And special features, treat it like a massive production, and do that every year. Why they don't do it?
Well with that. They would do. But the thing is, I would like to see a poetry special with Tim Trelaw.
Yep.
Done in the style of how they would have done a Christmas special in 1970. Yep. Right? I think that would be very cool. But this is a really solid article. Like, this is like I would read and be interested in. Right? I like Doctor Who. I like classic Doctor Who. I like Christmas.
With Doctor Who, it wouldn't have been right. It's very timely, this. It wouldn't have been right last year because Doctor Who, the Christmas special was coming along. Yes, it would return to Christmas Day then, but a lot of other things were on people's minds. We'd come out of the anniversary. We're getting a new Doctor. Everything was clouding the Christmasness of it all. This feels like the first one with it back at Christmas, clean of all of that. And so, yes, a nice idea to look at everything that we expect Christmas to be as regards Doctor Who.
You got to ask yourself, why would they highlight the shittest part? Amongst the shittest part of the last season, the weird pointing of Ruby's mother, who isn't special at all. Like, why would you? Don't bring that back.
Yeah, that really didn't. It really didn't.
So this is like,
did it there.
This is like I do as well. I did this last year. My Christmas favorite from Big Finish. Another great article, right? Okay, I'm really quite impressed with Doctor Who magazine thus far. And we're on page 31. What's this? Books, Bath and Beyond. Richard Unwin immerses himself in the literature and finds out why Doctor Who has been making a splat. What are they talking about?
This is the Bath Literature Festival. I think it was held a couple of months ago.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting enough. Okay, and this is unofficial events have been part of the fandom as long as itself. Well, obviously, on 2nd November, fans from the across country gathered at Cardiff in Arcadia. Well, again.
Oh wow! This is my friend's convention. Ian Kubiak. He put this together. Oh, that's great.
This is a great editorial decision. This brings fandom into the magazine, which is something that's really been lacking for a long time, essentially because it was controlled by a teeny tiny sliver of fandom that hated everybody else, right? But this is a really good idea. Good for them. Good for them. Power of the Doctor has Doctor Who from its very beginning shone a light on. Okay, this is its first irritating article. It is Liliana Coase of the Autism Through Cinema podcast investigates if Doctor Who's always been for autistic. I think once you got to Jodie Whittaker, yes, but like that's not Doctor Who, mate.
This is they probably mean well with that, but I suppose it's only 3 pages. There's some nice pictures. It's silly.
And again, but the picture
line of thinking,
the moment that destroyed this era, it really is. People switched off.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but I think as a defining statement, the people who hadn't seen there would have been people on Christmas Day who hadn't seen The Giggle and were aware that there was a new guy playing Doctor Who, and to think that was the first time they may have saw him. That's bad.
Yeah, and I think it really, really affected the ratings. I think people were just not interested. Interestingly, Frozen in Instant Time figure on the inside. Again, very nice personal memory that I think works, right? I think it did that draws the reader in. Beth Axford has an article without her picture in it. Amazingly, I'm surprised.
I find this
a face over Annette Wills here.
I find that the thinking behind this article, this column, I understand that. What I don't understand is why it's Beth Axford who's writing it every month.
I don't know.
It should be it should be maybe 3, maybe 4 people writing from a similar perspective about who and them, not basically 2 pages put over to one very mediocre talent to basically go on and on about how great she is and all the people that she's met. I just find it distasteful.
She's like nails on a chalkboard. This is another good
twat.
article. This is Doctor Who magazine through Christmas. It took a long time to catch on this thing, which they're right. Christmas first started becoming a thing around here. I remember when they did a couple of Christmas like that, right? But yeah, I remember this one as well.
Yeah. Oh, some great memories. Some really great memories.
So this magazine might well be recommended. And okay, now you get like the Panto feature. Like, wouldn't you like to go and see this at Christmas? The 7 Keys to Doomsday. It's a nice idea. Again, nice, interesting article.
They could again. Why aren't they offering 7 Keys to Doomsday up as something that could be remounted now under license from the BBC? Cast for people to cast somebody as the Doctor, cast the theatre Doctor, and this could potentially be too.
They don't want to have a Doctor that's not shooting out in a kind of production, right? It's which I actually can't.
Yeah, it does make sense. Having said that, yeah.
When they first did cast somebody else, it was between Troughton and Pertwee.
Now though, I think people would be actually okay with it. I think that,
but Russell wouldn't be. The production team wouldn't be. Christmas quiz. Fine. Okay, I'll look at that another time. But it seems like very current year. So yeah, I'll give that one a skip. Yeah, it's all very current year. Blimey, this is £19. How many Ultimate Guides to the Daleks can I have? I already have a bunch of them.
I'm afraid this does look like a really, really good one.
Right.
I decided not to buy these because the same way of thinking, how do I really need another book on the Daleks? This does look very well put together.
Right.
But
it's.
I bought the first one from a car boot sale. Their Moments in Time one. I found that for £1. The second one that they put out was only a couple of months ago. That was also £20. If they're going to start coming to me for another £20 every 2 or 3 months for something like that, I'm not going to get on board for that. I'm not going to indulge that. It's just too much. It's just too much.
Maximum, I would say. I think 2 a year is your sweet spot. 3 a year is too much.
Yeah.
Right? It's I don't like that they moved the time space visualizer, to the middle of the magazine. Just annoys me.
It's always been, it's been erratic with a lot of this. They've been moving things around for a while, and
right. Mark Gas adaptation of A Christmas Carol, A Ghost Story, is currently on at the Birmingham Rep Theatre. Oh, you gonna go see that? I would see that.
No, I hate to say this. I find A Christmas Carol and most versions thereof it incredibly boring. I've just seen too many of them. Sarah and Simon are going to see Colin Baker, Tom Baker, and Peter Purvis in one next week.
Ooh,
not that far away from me, 20, 30 miles away from me. And the main reason I'm not going is simply because. But how many versions of A Christmas Carol do I need in my life? As cool as it would be to see, I'm sure they'll have a great time, but it's just not. I get so bored with it. If I can go for the entire Christmas period without seeing a version of that story, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. Okay. Other than the Muppets Christmas Carol, that's like I think
I'm afraid I did watch that last year.
Me too.
I did, and I enjoyed it. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I did. I saw the uncut one for a change. But yeah, that's as much as I'll do. I won't watch any version of it this year. The Blackadder one is one I watch quite a lot, but it's so detached from. It's three sketches, three chunks of. Yeah, it's not. It's the framing sequence, isn't it? That's right. Christmas Carol.
What is good though? I'm not sure it was on Sky. The Last Train to Christmas has Nathalie Emmanuel, who's freaking gorgeous. The only thing.
Her and Michael Sheen.
Yeah, that's really. Have you seen it?
I didn't. You told me how good that was last year, and I'd never watched it. So I'm going to make a note now. What's it called? Last Train to Christmas.
Last Train to Christmas. It's a real tearjerker as well. But by just great performances, great story. It's like great premise, great story, great. performance, as I said. And I like they're doing 1984, so they can talk about Box of Delights. But I remember buying this issue of DWB.
So do I.
With Paul Stone, who did Box of Delights. No, he did Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe.
He did the Narnia ones, yeah. And how lovely is it to see Doctor Who Bulletin? Well, I don't know if Gary Lee would agree, but how lovely is it for us, the fans, to see DWB and the stuff that was going on in the fandom at the time put alongside anything that was official, because it did matter to us back then. And it's quite right that magazine, anything else that was going on unofficially, also have its place in history like that.
You know, I mean, Gary should really, if he can do it legally, republish them by year, do like a 1984 DWB compendium. Yeah. I would buy those. That sounds really fun. Bit of nostalgia fest. The comic strip, I feel, is the weakest part of the magazine now. The artwork's just poor. I had no interest in this Doctor anyway, and it's a bit of a sad shadow of its former self. So it's suffering. As I say, what I would do, save yourself some money. The fans would be okay with it. Take it back to black and white, Jason. It'd be fine. Just leave the colours. That would be great. I do. Maybe when you come to do the collected ones where they put them together in a big volume, colour them for that. But black and white. The collected volumes is where they make the money, because it's all paid for at that point. It's just that's true. So Time of the Doctor, I like it a lot. I like they got that as fact or fiction. Not the best of Christmas specials, but not the worst. I like the Doctor growing old and dying that way. Capaldi. Generally speaking, I really enjoy this. I like the wooden Cybermen. There are some really good ideas in this. It's just all a little bit malformed. I don't know what it is. It feels too small for the story it's telling, whilst at the same time being kind of too big for a Christmas day. It doesn't really work. Maybe they should have made like a mini season out of this, like a 3-episode. Well, as I understand it, Moffat's original idea was that the whole of he believed that Matt Smith was going to be staying for another year, and that apparently that entire final year of Matt Smith's tenure was all going to take place on Trenzalore, with him living out a kind of retirement in a similar way to the Obi-Wan series was, where he's sort of trying to fade away, but they keep sort of bothering him with more stuff. Matt Smith, as I think it's common knowledge, that Matt Smith and Stephen Moffat fell out. Oh, I didn't know that. They had a huge disagreement, allegedly, which meant that Matt decided to leave. And so those ideas were condensed into this, which I think is why it suffers. That's exactly what it feels like, isn't it? That's exactly what it feels like. Wow. So, but anyway, Time of the Doctor, I still like it, right? There's so many good elements in that. Haven't seen it for years. Okay, my favorite bit is when he's old, he's swinging his cane, you got the silence, like firing stuff at the Daleks. I love that, right? It's like one shot, but it's very, very good. And I like with him growing old, the wooden Cyberman. This I think was a really bold, interesting choice. So you say he would have grown older as the season went on to eventually ended up like this? Yeah, that would have been really powerful. What a great season that would have been. Yeah. I have no interest in this book, but again, looks like it's not nicely laid out. The Jodie Sontarans still the best. I'm sorry, Jodie Sontarans are really good. They are, but you know what? I prefer the Little Blue Men. I really don't. I do. You know what? You know why I never liked the Ross Lee Davis ones? Because I saw them and I said they are massively inferior to the Shakedown ones from the mid-90s. I don't know about that. I liked what they did with the Shakedown ones, but I don't know. I mean, the thing is, oh god. Although I think that doing that with the Sontarans made up for the terrible job that Chibnall had done with the Daleks and various other creative things that he'd done. So whilst I applaud that,
I still think that it was a backward step in some respects. I don't know.
Okay.
Couple of years on.
I thought it did the cliffhanger from that Centauran one in the Napoleonic War. I thought that was the cliffhangers generally in Flux were good. I think.
Yeah, they were decent. They were decent cliffhangers. Again, I haven't gone back to a lot of the stuff that I enjoyed from the. I haven't gone back to the Time of the Doctor for a long time. I like that, so I'm not going to go back to the stuff that I thought was shite. And
I thought
Flux was shit.
That's crazy. Big Finish Day. I'm not interested in this Time War stuff they've been doing. I'm not. Their output has really just stopped interesting me a lot of time. Quintessence, the first Third Doctor and Joe Jones stuff was really, really awful, and I wouldn't. Okay. I wouldn't take a punt on it. Right? Maybe it's good. Maybe it's not. I don't know. £40 for that. Another sonic screwdriver. Nice bit of design there, and awesome rack. Other than that,
blimey! Oh, there we are. There's the other special. This only came out a couple of months ago. Again, 20 sheets. It's too much.
I mean, again, nicely designed, but I don't need a guide up to all the stories. I have them. Right? I'm in my mid bloody 50s. I got all the Doctor Who magazine behind me. Right? I don't need to worry about this. What's this? Other Worlds, 1996 movie, script by Matthew Jacob picks up where they talk in Madame Butterfly. Yeah, but I'm not going to get that because I can't. This character here, Audacity, is perhaps the worst character I've ever come across a Big Finish. She's awful. Oh, she is absolutely terrible.
They haven't used the Mara very well on Big Finish for a number of years now. Not since probably was it called Union of the Snake?
It's Cradle of the Snake.
Cradle of the Snake. Not since then.
And even that one I thought was a bit. What the thing that really annoyed me is the big snake monster in Capaldi's last season, the first that was employed by Davros, the Colony Sarf. That should have been the Mara. That should have been the Mara.
Yeah, I agree.
It was kind of silly that it wasn't. I am looking forward to this. The War Doctor range is generally speaking one of my favorites, and I love Mavellans. I don't know Susan Dando, very smackable. Beat before I even knew what it was. I looked at it, I said, I don't know what she makes me want to do, but I want to do a lot of it. Right? I want to do a lot of it. I didn't like the Paternoster gang on TV. They brought the second Doctor into it. I do like Michael Trafton's take on the second Doctor, which is really fun. But this is one of the things I thought just got too twee on the TV show. What's this one? Mike Tucker brings back Earth Invading Autons in House of Plastic. What's House of Plastic? It's
probably another one of his, because Mike does write some of those BBC audio books, doesn't he? Well,
yeah, it's a BBC audio book. Scary Chris. I was going to get this, and now I'm like, the trailer was really naff. Right, the trailer really put me off. I know. I'll read the blurbs so if it can get me interested.
See, one standout Christmas release. Do you remember what they did for the thing they did on stage? They made a big deal of that, and there was a big CD release. They did it on stage. That model they should do that every year for what is effectively a Christmas special. Every single year. Do it on stage, maybe a couple of showings over one weekend, bang out the CD. And they could have people go in there. They could do it the first week of December, have people turn up in their Victoriana, or in their cosplay or whatever. Really, really go for it. I think that would do them, from a marketing perspective, do it great. And have that CD of the pre-recorded actual one ready to go as soon as that's come off the stage. Let's just go.
Anybody who bought a ticket to it, I think they got the pre-recorded one.
Oh, did they? Oh, that's good.
I think that's part of the package.
Great.
Which I thought was a very, very good idea. I just wish they put out some kind of highlight reel of the stage show, but maybe rights prohibits them doing that.
Yeah. I think when it comes to things that we ask ourselves, why don't Big Finish do X, Y, or Z? It's usually because their license doesn't cover it for.
But if they put it out for free on the YouTube channel, people would just it would help sales, right? It would make sales go very well. So was it how many next month? Will be step into 2025 news, reviews, competitions, more, and they tell us nothing about. But they're making the war game. So
the advert's bright pink.
That is, and then I like the Shooty taking a shit pose, which they use that a lot, right?
Yeah.
They had this as last month's cover.
Cutter's working. What's that? Sorry.
They had this as last month's cover for some reason. By the way, Dalek Universe Christmas gift £20 each with code. Do not buy these, right? If you like Daleks, this is not for you. They don't show up to like the 8th episode or something ridiculous. Do not buy these. These are the cards that come with it. So you have different door hangers, I guess, and that's the cover.
That's a clay. That looks like another retouched, an exclusive retouched picture. That's lovely.
Right. It's and yeah. This is a very famous publicist, right? And there you go. Honestly, for me, how much is the cover price? I have no idea. But for me, this one's a recommend.
I think this is a $9.99 job. I think this comes in a bag. I'll be able to find it. I'll be able to find it on my travels. I'll be able to find it on my travels tomorrow, no problem. But when I went into the town today, there was not a single issue, and it's not because they've sold out. It'll be because nobody can be asked to get in. It's just too expensive.
I hear it. Yeah, I do hear it. But for me, this issue is it's a solid issue, right? It's a bit of a recommend. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.